There are battles that everyone knows. Normandy, Waterloo, Stalingrad. Their names echo through history. But there are other battles, forgotten, buried, overlooked, that quietly changed the fate of nations, and in some cases, the fate of the entire world. Tonight, we uncover 5 forgotten battles so important that if any one of them had ended differently, the world today would look nothing like the one we live in. These are the forgotten battles that changed the world, but no one talks about. It happened in a remote valley of Central Asia, a place most people couldn't find on a map. On one side, the massive Abbasid Caliphate, the rising power of the Islamic world. On the other, the Tang Dynasty, China's greatest imperial force. 2 superpowers, one forgotten battlefield. At Talis, their armies collided in a brutal 5-day fight, but the outcome wasn't just military, it changed history. If the Tang had won, Chinese influence might have swept across the Middle East, but they lost, and China withdrew from Central Asia forever. And, one more thing, Chinese papermakers were captured during the retreat. From that moment, the knowledge of making paper spread west, eventually reaching Europe, and giving birth to the age of books, science, and information. A forgotten battle that helped create the modern world. The Mongols were undefeated. Every kingdom, every empire, crushed like dust under their horses. But in 1260, in a green valley in modern-day Israel, they met a force that refused to run. The Mamluks of Egypt. At Untold, for the first time in history, the Mongols were defeated. This single battle stopped the Mongol invasion of the Middle East and prevented them from advancing into North Africa. If the Mamluks had failed, the Mongols could have marched all the way to Egypt and possibly into Europe again. The world map would be unrecognizable today. But few people outside historians even know the name Untold. The world's most powerful navy, the British Royal Navy, arrived with 186 ships, one of the largest fleets in history. Their mission was to seize Cartagena de Indias, the jewel of Spain's empire in the New World. If the British won, South America might be speaking English today. But one man stood in their way, Blas de Lezo, a one-eyed, one-armed, one-legged Spanish commander who had survived countless battles. His forces were outnumbered almost 10-1, and yet he defeated the British, destroyed their fleet, stopped their empire from expanding, and changed the future of South America. A forgotten battle, led by a man almost forgotten himself. High in the jungles of India, British, Indian, and Gurkha soldiers faced a massive Japanese invasion. They were surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned, cut off from supplies. The fighting became so close that soldiers battled over a shell-cratered tennis court that still exists today. For 64 days, they held the line. If Kohima fell, Japan would have marched into India, sparking uprisings across the subcontinent, and possibly breaking the British Empire years earlier. Instead, the Allies won and turned the tide in Asia, a forgotten turning point of World War II. Long before the Mongols conquered half the planet, there was a warning, a forgotten battle that predicted everything. At the Kalka River, a coalition of Russian princes met Mongol forces for the first time. The Mongols used superior tactics, feigned retreats, and devastating encirclements. The result was a catastrophic defeat for the Russians, and a message written in blood. We have come, and we will return. And they did. 15 years later, they invaded Russia fully, changing Eastern Europe forever. Had the princes taken the Mongol threat seriously after Kalka, history might have been different. But Kalka was forgotten. Until it was too late. History remembers the biggest battles, but not always the most important ones. Talis shaped the flow of knowledge. Untold stopped a global conquest. Cartagena protected a continent. Kohima changed the direction of World War II. And Kalka warned the world of a storm it didn't stop. These forgotten battles, quiet, hidden, overlooked, changed the destiny of millions. And now, their stories are no longer forgotten. If you want more forgotten war stories, hidden history, and battles that changed the world, subscribe and join us for the next deep dive. This is Warsphere, where the past comes alive.